going on, y'all? Welcome back to the chaos. I'm Ryan and I'm back at it today tackling a much needed interior upgrade on my C6 Corvette. So as we all know, the Chevy interior quality from over a decade ago leaves a lot to be desired. So I've actually picked up a set of premium seat covers from the folks over at Kustom Interior to help modernize the otherwise pretty bland design. So let's go ahead and take a look at the covers before we begin our install. Kustom Interior offers several design varieties to choose from. I actually ended up going with the stylish honeycomb accident version with the white stitching, because this should match our previously installed armrest cover perfectly. Before we officially throw the seat covers in the car, let's take a look at how they actually install. Once you get them unboxed, there's going to be two parts per seat. The upper portion and the lower seat bottom portion. To get a good understanding of how the seat covers actually install, we're going to mock them up using my office chair to give us a good understanding. So it'll slip around the factory bottom seat. These anchor points will be shoved down in the crevice to give you a good anchor so the seat cover won't go anywhere. And then around back is the buckle that's going to tighten in place just like that. It'll run around the back of the seat, and again, this will all be covered because once we get the top portion on, this will cover it up. And then underneath is where you're gonna have your buckles. So these little hooks will run underneath the factory seat, and you'll find that metal bar under there, and that's what will hold it in place. So that will be the lower portion installed. So let's grab the upper. The upper portion has similar features of connectivity. So you have these anchor points, just like on our seat lower. So again, those are gonna shove into the crevice where the two sections meet. And then you also have more of these hooks that are also gonna loop down underneath your seat and connect to your factory bar underneath. And then you have a zipper portion on the side. And I would recommend, they should fit passenger side to driver side, no matter what, either side. But I'm gonna put the zipper part in the middle so you're less likely to see it. So when you open the doors, you don't wanna see the zipper. So this is gonna go towards the inside of the vehicle. But it'll just slip over your factory backs, like that. You're gonna take these anchor points down here, shove them in the crevice because that's what's gonna hold it in place. Then on the back, hard to see on this one, but there's the hooks. Those will run underneath the factory seat, connect to that metal bar, and then lastly, you'll zip it up to complete the install. Now that we know how these install, let's run out and properly install them on the Corvette. Installing these covers will provide me a few benefits. So one, a custom look to help set me apart from all the other Corvettes, but then also it will actually provide a added layer of protection for our factory leather. These seat covers will help hide some of the stretching and imperfections that are starting to be displayed on our aging factory seats. So even lower model cars unfortunately can't outrun Father Time. So with that being said, let's go ahead and transform these old seats. To begin, I'm gonna start with our lower seat cushion, get that in place, and then move on to our upper seat back. Full transparency, I've hit a snag with the install. So everything went on nice and smoothly, and I'm gonna use the passenger side so you can see what I'm talking about. But I was able to get the buckle at the back buckled. I was able to get our anchors shoved through the seat wedge and in place, so those are nice and locked in. It is the front hooks that run along all the way underneath your seat. There's too much, I'm not sure if there's like an amp or I'm not sure what's under the seat, but there's too many like electronics and stuff like that you can't get a good, you can almost barely shove in a hand from the back side of the car and shoving a hand, you can barely get your hands even to meet to get any leverage. So I attempted to take like a bungee cord and connect that to our hooks to try to fish through, and that still wasn't working. So instead of trying to waste a whole lot of time because you should be able to get these installed without removing the seat, but just to help myself out and make this process go smoother, faster, I'm going to unbolt the seat, not fully remove it, but just that way we can kind of wiggle it around, gain a little more leverage. So I'm gonna grab, I think it's a 10 mil, and we're gonna loosen these seat bolts up. Now that we have all 4 of the, and they actually ended up being 15 millimeter nuts, now that we got those removed, that gives us some flexibility, wiggability within the car itself to then get those straps hooked properly. Here's those seat anchors, a better shot so that way you can see exactly how they're supposed to go. So I just wedge them in there and then they kind of sit flush to keep the seat cover in place. I've got the lower seat part installed at this point and got the seat bolted back down firmly, and then I kind of got to thinking, I was like, dang, I probably should have done the upper half because I might not be able to access that bar underneath the seat, but thank goodness I kind of lucked up, avoided some chaos this install. Now that it's bolted down, that actually might give us better leverage and I can reach that bar. So when we strap down the top, we'll be all right. So bottom's installed, now let's jump on the top one. That's one side down. So make sure you eat your Wheaties because you're gonna need to use all that muscle to just kind of tug and pull. That's all it takes. It's just kind of wiggling it back and forth, snugging it down, getting it tight. So we do have a little bit of air trapped back here, but I think once the car sits in the sun for a little bit, that will kind of, and then obviously as you drive around, your weight being pushed up against it, it'll kind of contour a little bit more to the seat, but it fits on there snug. So we got one side down, now let's tackle the other side. We're gonna do the passenger side out here in the sunshine, so that way I've laid out the cover, and so that way it'll hopefully be more malleable as the sun heats it up, so that way we can stretch it a little more than we did the driver's side. Now that I've got the seat covers installed on both sides, I can't believe how drastic of a difference is made to the look of the car. They look and feel incredible. And as far as insulation goes, I would recommend going ahead and unbolting both sides, as it gives you just a few more inches of maneuverability, and that just makes all the difference. And then a huge plus was actually rolling it back out in the sun. That makes the material a whole lot more pliable and just makes it slip over the factory seats a whole lot easier. I'm absolutely blown away at how much more modern these seat covers make the car look and feel. Especially with the little honeycomb accents, it kind of gives it that OEM plus appearance. I'll make sure to link in the description box below the Kustom Interior site so you can check them out for yourself. They have offerings for Camaros, Mustangs, Challengers, yep, even Corvettes. So they might have something to help transform your car. I really appreciate everybody watching. If you haven't already, make sure you smash that subscribe button, because here at the Chaos Car Club, we're exclusively unexclusive. We love everything from JDM, American Muscle, motorcycles, trucks, you name it, it's got a motor, it's right up our alley. Thanks again for watching. We'll catch y'all in the next one.